Stay alert, people. Stay focused in the utter chaos and mess that is this Trump transition, which I've said is clearly the worst transition in presidential history. We just take a look at what's happened in the past 24 hours. Well, Walmart has announced that as a result of Donald Trump's tariffs, that this will likely lead to significantly higher costs for consumers who shop at Walmart. We're going to see this trend at retail stores and throughout commerce taking place here in the United States. But Walmart announced that through its spokesperson. Also, as our editor-in-chief, Ron Filipkowski, wrote, at the same time that Trump has named his Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick. To this date, Donald Trump has not named a single black person to his cabinet. It's the least diverse cabinet in history. But he did announce that one of the co-founders of the World Wrestling Federation or Entertainment, Linda McMahon, well, she's going to lead the Department of Education, despite the Oklahoma Superintendent Ryan Walters trying to position himself for that role by, instead of getting life-saving inhalers in Oklahoma schools, he spent or is going to be spending potentially millions of dollars buying Trump Bibles for $60 or $59.99 to make sure that students are not taught regular kind of history, but they are taught Bible studies regardless of what their religion is. Also, it should be noted that in the past 24 hours as well, Donald Trump's nominee for Attorney General, Matt Gaetz, more allegations coming out against him for child sex trafficking, but Republicans like Marjorie Taylor Greene and Anna Paulina Luna and others are standing by his side strongly, and they are attacking other Republicans and saying to Republican colleagues in the House and Senate, this is what Marjorie Taylor Greene's saying. She goes, if you're trying to release Matt Gaetz' ethics report, if you want to make that public, which may show that Matt Gaetz was leading child sex trafficking. Those are the allegations, at least. If you're going to release that, as Marjorie Taylor Greene says, we're going to show the sexual harassment and assault allegations against all of you other Republicans, including Marjorie Taylor Greene says, an ethics report that she filed against people, apparently. And she said she's going to expose Republicans' relationships with Jeffrey Epstein, tapes, recordings, and not just Epstein. There are other assets, Marjorie Taylor Greene says, that have compromised other Republicans. So you release Matt Gaetz' child sex trafficking reports, we're going to release your child sex trafficking reports, is the message that Republicans are sending to other Republicans right now. That's what's going on. Also, as Andrew Prokop writes, yes, Matt Gaetz' allegations seem to be getting most of the press attention, but shouldn't we also be focusing on the allegations against Donald Trump's Secretary of Defense nominee, Peter Hegseth, the Fox Weekend News host? Because here's what we're learning. Late Wednesday, the Trump team received a memo written by a person claiming to be a friend of a woman who said she was raped by Mr. Hegseth. The memo said the woman, who was referred to as Jane Doe, was 30 at the time and was working for the organizers of a conference in California where Mr. Hegseth spoke. Jane Doe, the memo said, was staying at the hotel with her husband and 2 children. The allegations in the memo obtained by the New York Times cannot be independently verified, but it said that Mr. Hegseth was with 2 women at a bar after his speech when Jane Doe received a text from the woman saying that Mr. Hegseth was getting pushy about taking them upstairs to his room. Jane Doe went over to try to mitigate the situation, the memo said. The 2 other women left, and from that moment on, the memo said Jane Doe did not remember anything until she was in Mr. Hegseth's hotel room, and she had only hazy memories of being there and then stumbling back to her room. The next day, she had a moment of hazy memory of being raped the night before. She went to the hospital, was tested with the rape kit, which revealed the presence of semen. The memo said Mr. Hegseth's lawyer, Timothy Parlatore, said it was a consensual encounter and gave a very different version of events from the memo sent to the Trump team. So that's Donald Trump's Secretary of Defense, who I also believe paid hush money and settlement money to his victim or victims as well. But Anna Paulina Luna, a MAGA Republican member on Capitol Hill, because this is what the Republican parties are, right? This is the party of family values, huh? Evangelical Christians love this stuff, right? I mean, this is disgusting. This stuff is I don't get, can we just call it what it is? I mean, we're talking about Gaetz, potential child sex trafficking, Hegseth, we're talking about allegations of rape. 38% of Trump's cabinet has very serious and credible allegations of sexual assault. They have no black people on the cabinet, but 38% of the people have sexual assault allegations against them, and child sex trafficking some have. Seriously? But Anna Paulina Luna, who spent the time right before the election appearing on the Maxim swimsuit magazine, that's one of the qualifications for being a MAGA member of Congress today. She, like Marjorie Taylor Greene's, attacking senators for wanting to release reports that could show child sex trafficking. And Anna Paulina Luna says, I'm going to reveal your stock portfolios. I've got dirt on you. Here's what Anna Paulina Luna told CNN. Here, play this clip.
And I will say that for the senators that are coming forward and stating that they need to read this testimony, let's look into these people's stocks portfolios and how they're becoming multimillionaires off of $175,000 a year. The reason
also, much time was spent, or significant time was spent by MAGA Republicans bullying the first trans congresswoman, the first trans person in Congress from Delaware's at-large district, Congresswoman McBride. MAGA Republicans spent the day bullying her. Nancy Mace went on all the right-wing shows. Fox dedicated their entire broadcasting saying, we need to ban Congresswoman McBride from using the women's bathroom. And that's what they spent all of their coverage doing, like literally bullying a trans person. Just take a look at the side-by-side right here of MAGA Mike Johnson. You'll see what he said at first, and then later in the day, he took a much more hardline stance, dehumanizing his colleague, a trans woman who's now in Congress. Here, play this clip.
I'm not going to get into this. We welcome all new members with open arms who are duly elected representatives of the people. I believe it's a command that we treat all persons with dignity and respect, and we will. And I'm not going to engage in silly debates about this. Let me be unequivocally clear. A man is a man, and a woman is a woman. And a man cannot become a woman.
And by the way, our editor-in-chief, Ron Filipkowski, documented 126 posts from MAGA Republican Congresswoman Nancy Mace in the last 24. And by the way, our editor-in-chief, Ron Filipkowski, documented 100 posts from MAGA Republican Congress.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Midas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.